Guys, 23andMe Lockdown did an interview with, or Lockdown 23andMe. So that's 23 hours in solitaire and 1 hour out. That's where that name comes from, 23andMe. Guys, this is about a lot of these channels from ex-inmates are very, very, very informative. And this gentleman who was locked up before understands the system, and, you know, his livelihood now is telling stories. So if you guys are interested, Jumpsuit Pablo, JD Delay, Lockdown 23andMe, and again, Lockdown 23andMe secured an interview with Wade Wilson, his biological dad. You know, Wade Wilson, the charmer, the guy that unalived 2 people in Florida for the hell of it. And his dad, his biological dad, who was only 15 years old when Wade was conceived, and his biological mom, Wade's biological mom, was only 14. Now, they tried to keep Wade, except that Wade's dad had his own issues. Now, Wade's dad has done time. He's changed his life around. He's tried to be there for his son. He talks about how his son called him and told him what happened, how he knew in his heart that something was wrong with the picture when his son was, the vibe was off. He knew, oh my God, you know, he did do something. And he talks about how Wade calls when he needs something and kind of doesn't want much to do with people, doesn't show a lot of attention when he doesn't need anybody. As a matter of fact, you know, Wade's dad hasn't spoken to Wade in a while now, since all these women have jumped on and started paying Wade's way in prison. See, Wade knows he's a good-looking man. That's what his dad said. He said, "Man, my son's a good-looking man." And he knows that. And he takes advantage of that. He's never had a problem with women. And, you know, women gravitate to him. In the meantime, this man, Wade Wilson, has unalived 2 women in the most horrific ways for the hell of it. And his dad had to turn him in. His dad turned him in because he knew that Wade would do it again. He said there was something in Wade's voice that let me know that he enjoyed it and he would do it again. And when Wade confronted him and said, "Dad, did you turn me in?" And his dad said, "Yes." And Wade said, "Why?" And his dad said, "Well, son, it was something about your voice and how I think you enjoyed it. And if you didn't get caught, you would have done it again." And Wade said, "You know me so well," because, yeah, I would have. So Wade continued to have a relationship with his dad, and he continued to ask his dad for stuff, which is, I'm going to do a reaction video to that. This is just the story of, you know, Wade was given every chance by his adopted family. You know, they spent money, time, energy. When they realized he had a drug problem, they tried to give him help. Wade wasn't interested in that. I don't know if Wade felt rejected by his family, but according to Wade and the conversations he had with his biological parents, he said to them, "I understood you were young. What were you supposed to do?" Later in life, Wade's mom had her own share of problems, and unfortunately, she would take Wade, who was 18 at the time, and they would go run the streets. So Wade did reach out and got to know his biological parents, because the adoption was from somebody that the family knew. And they were good people. Very, very good people. So Lockdown 23andMe said, you know, there are just some bad seeds. And that's true. And Wade Wilson was a bad seed. And it wasn't because of his biological mom and dad. And it wasn't because they wouldn't. The crimes that they committed weren't anything to what Wade has done. The anger, the atrocities, the shit that he left behind, the path of destruction, the fact that 2 women are gone now because he wanted to. He didn't have to. And you know, he was even asked, why, Wade, why? I wanted to. Guys, the interview, and I'm going to show a snippet, and, you know, the phone call when his biological dad realized, oh, shit, he really did this. And, you know, he had to turn him in because he knew that it was the right thing to do. And I guess because he's been incarcerated before, the dad, you know, people are saying he grassed on his son, he told on his son, he narked, he's a narc, bad news. What was he supposed to do? You can't just go and hide an MURDER. You can't do that. You have to do the right thing. So this man did the right thing. Has changed his whole life around, was trying to be there for his son. He tells his son he loves him. He tells his son about his past. He tells his son, please, you know, get on the right path, son. I want what's best for you, son. And is looking out for his son. And his son's all there taking the advice and saying, yeah, dad, and all that shit. And then when Wade no longer needs anything from his dad, he doesn't hear from him. He doesn't get to hear how he's doing. It's like, if you can't help Wade, he has no reason. There's nothing. And the conversations he has when he's trying to speak, when his dad's trying to give him advice, Wade's trying to hurry him up until he gets to the point where it's like, Dad, you can put money on my books. You're going to hit the kiosk for me, Dad. You're going to give me this, Dad. I need thermals, Dad. I need this, Dad. I need that, Dad. What? First of all, the man don't owe you anything as an adult. He gave you the best life he could. When Wade was adopted, his biological dad was doing time. When his biological dad got out, he realized that there was an adoption that took place. He wasn't mad. He wasn't, what could he have done? You know, understood that the woman did the best she could do as a young kid. I mean, she was 16 years old when Wade popped out of her. And by the way, his name was Anthony at the time. So it was changed over to Wade Wilson. Guys, you know, I know adopted kids that have turned into adults. They don't do what Wade did. You know, whatever is wrong with Wade Wilson doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he was brought up, you know, the way he was brought up. It's all about him, that anger and that. Guys, let's listen to this interview with the dad, and you know, and please like, subscribe, and share to 23-in-1 Live. So guys, let's check this out. Let's listen to this video. And, you know, I'm just going to give you a little bit of it. And then I want you to really go check out his channel. Show some love over there. Excuse me. Very interesting. He covers a lot of stuff. Just like JD Delay and Jumpsuit Pablo, guys. But this guy's got the interview with Wade Wilson's dad. And I highly recommend that. I really recommend this conversation that you guys listen to. Guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip. I am Toddy One Skip. Thank you as always for allowing me to be part of your day. I so appreciate it. Enjoy the weekend. I'll see you soon. Be better today than you were yesterday. Not half as good as you'll be tomorrow. Never be Wade Wilson, but maybe you could be his dad. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.
He said, hey, Dad, I need some help. Well, I automatically thought, you know, he needs a hotel. He needs money for whatever. So it was a hot day. I was frustrated. I said, listen, call me around dinner time. I'll be done working. Just call me then. We'll figure it out. He calls me, and he's in a panic. You know, I could tell he's high, and I need help. I've done something I can't take back. You know, there's 2 people that aren't with us anymore, and we talked for a few minutes. I said, listen, I'm on my way home. I said, call me back tonight and we'll figure it out. You know, I said, are you safe where you are? And he said, yeah, I'm good. I'm in the house. I'm good. I said, all right. So in the meantime.
And he's already told you about taking 2 people out.
Yeah, but it was general. That's all he said, you know, and he didn't say, you know, he just said, I've done something I can't take back. I'm a changed person, I promise you. But a lot of times I go back in that mode, okay? And I know when something's going on, a lot of times I just react and I don't take a breath. and think about it, you know? And that was part of it. I wanted to get home. I wanted to talk to my wife because I knew there was a different vibe about this conversation with him, but I just wasn't ready for it yet. But I knew something was coming, you know?